Hi traders, welcome to this Forex week ahead analysis video with me, John, Senior Market Analyst here at Blueberry Markets. We're going to go through some data this week. We're also going to go over some charts of interest. So very light in terms of data compared to last week, but still some very important things coming up, especially over in the US. We've got FOMC member Waller speaking, and we've also got Fed Chair Powell speaking towards the end of the week. Now, this comes off the back of the Federal Reserve leaving rates unchanged at 5.5%, but they did revise the medium and long-term dots slightly higher. Now, whether that does have an influence of what happens next in the markets, we'll have to wait and see, but obviously the dollar did strengthened towards the end of last week, and we've got other data coming out as well. We've got final GDP quarter on quarter expected to remain the same at 3.2%, but core PCE price index is going to be one to watch for me. Month on month expected to come down from 0.4% to 0.3%. Now, obviously, core PCE price index does serve as a key measure of inflationary pressures, and the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell wants to see those inflationary pressures continue to decrease at a sort of fairly neutral rate, considering the fact that the inflation rate in the US has held around that sort of 3% to 3.2% mark for quite some time now. So they do want to see that inflation is continuing to decrease, but that'll be interesting. Lots of bank holidays coming up towards the end of the week, so Thursday to Friday we've got bank holidays across main global markets, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Going on to the currency strength meter, then we're obviously starting to see a little bit of a change here. One that interested me was the fact that the pound did decide to sort of weaken. Very interesting market to watch at the moment. We did a report this week on the commitment of trader reports showing the commercials heavily selling the pound at the moment, so there could be a potential top in that market, looking for potential pound weakness from the back of this. The Swiss franc remains bearish, remains in that reversal zone. Don't think we're going to see it climb out of this reversal zone anytime soon. Swiss National Bank cut interest rates last week. They want to see that Swiss franc weaker to help with exports. So that's where I think a little bit of opportunity could come from, maybe some Swiss franc weakness. Going on to the US dollar index then, so interesting. Obviously, we found that support down at 102.75. I felt that maybe we'd see a little bit of bearishness after the sort of rejection around about 104, but that was very, very short-lived. Market then extended higher, breaking through these key highs at 104.28. So expecting some further upside here to the dollar index at the moment, especially if we can hold above 104.28. That could lead price up to the recently formed highs at 104.90. Those highs formed of February. Again, kind of climbing back into that interesting area which we spoke about in the past. I like the idea of being long US dollar recently, basically due to the data that we had, especially hotter than expected inflationary figures. And I did like the idea of being long as long as we were above this high zone in here. And obviously we attempted to get out of that failed, price traded lower, but we're coming back into this area now. So are we going to see price kind of trade above this 104.90? Are we eventually going to see the 106s? That's what's going to interest me around the US dollar index. Going on to cable then, sharp decline in cable last week. We had a very aggressive bounce. Then 128 was tested. We dropped from 128 down to the 126s. Now, obviously, last week, lots of data out in the market, so we had that volume there that allowed these kind of larger moves. Now we've got lack of potential volume coming in with this week, so we might just see price kind of hold around these areas. I'd be interested to see if the sellers can continue the momentum down to sort of these new lows down towards 125.50, 125.25. I'd be interested to see if we can get any lower. You got to think of the point of view from a seller. Where's the best place to kind of exit positions? And it would be down in these areas, so that might create a little bit of buying pressure around these kind of lows. So that's something I'll be interested in as a trader this week. Kiwi US dollar, very interesting as well. We've obviously been in sort of a larger term trading range for a while now, since nearly the start of the year, kind of mid-January onwards. We've been fairly sort of range bound on Kiwi dollar. Recently rejected the highs at 0.6200, come down to the lows at 0.6050. The buying pressure here wasn't kind of matched. Sellers thought that there was no value here, and now we've broken down through those lows. So the next kind of area of support is down towards 0.5950, which forms from this low for me. So trading below that 50 moving average on the daily time frame, trading below these lows, I think if we get any kind of rallies in this market, it could be met with a little bit of selling pressure. Finally then, dollar Swiss. Have to give an honourable mention to dollar Swiss because of what happened with the Swiss National Bank last week. This could be a market to watch in terms of bullish opportunities. Currency strength meter was talking about being long since the 16th of January, and that has paid really well. Market staying above that 50 MA as well. So longs were pretty profitable through this area. Now we're trading above resistance at 0.89 handle. It opens up the door again for buyers to step in. So I think if we get any kind of declines here in the short term, we could see a move to trade higher, potentially back to the 0.9050 handle. But yeah, definitely watching to see if price can kind of pull back here and see if we can continue those longs higher. Swiss National Bank wants to see a weaker Swiss franc, so that is what we're kind of basing this off. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching this video update. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next video.